Sikander Kher, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Sikander, you're joining us from Calcutta, where you're shooting for a web series.
Yes.
But to start with, Sikander, you play Daulat, the silent hitman protecting his boss's family in Arya 2. And you're getting all the praise this time for your not so silent performance. Uh, how was it for the second time around, Sikander? Do you now understand Daulat and the world of Arya better?
No, actually, it's the same. Once you've read it and when we did our backstory and the work, like the prep for it involved me making a backstory to Daulat. So the understanding was not at any degree better or less. That happens during the process. The only thing over here was that, it's usually when you're doing any kind of a film or something, a limited series maybe that finishes, you move on from that character. In this one was the first time I experienced coming back to a show where I've already played that character, and then to find that person again, because you've done so much work in the middle and then you have to go back and it's the same person that you're playing. So that's a fine line of actually finding that person, and that I realized first day of shoot. It took about 3 takes or 4 takes for the director also and for myself to find Daulat's sur once again.
What is the trick of expressing emotions in those scenes which have silences? And this time, of course, there are less in second season. But is there a backstory you had in your head that helped
Yes.
you sailing through those scenes where there are no dialogues?
Yeah, it's not just about standing quietly, there is always a thought that is going on in your mind. So it boils down to the prep. The backstory is the most helpful thing you can, because I did make one with a bunch of people that we were prepping with. It's like I thought of maybe Daulat was probably a child when Zorawar took him in. He probably helped his mother out. When Daulat was young, he probably had a crush on Arya. That shows the fact that it's grown into love. He's just the help, in the house. So there's a difference in the social status that he is in and the rest, so he'll not cross that line. Therefore there's the silence of that, and he grows up, and he becomes a protector. He becomes sort of like the one that is the go-to to get things done. Now anybody doing something like that, as it is written, is quiet, is calm. If you see the security for VIPs, etc., they're quiet. Yeah, they're standing in the background quietly and just keeping an eye on stuff. That's when you're most focused. So these things all coming together really help. But there are so many layers to the guy. You try to wonder where he's from, and you can see when he looks at Arya that he is in love with her, but he's not going to say anything. His loyalty to Zorawar because of all those things. So all these things come into play. So I think the prep on this character was completely crucial for what I was going to be doing, and I know that helped, because otherwise it would have probably been a little disjointed. But it just made it a lot smoother.
Who knows that love you expressed in season 3?
I don't know about that, because this show is also, actually, who knows, man. But your guess is as good as mine. Depends on the writers.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Sikandar, what was that one-liner that after listening to it, you said yes to Ram Advani for Arya? And did you have any doubts, or you felt, why I said yes to this project? Or you were double-minded while during the shoot, saying, yeah, I'm just standing there and looking at the character, especially in season 1, and I don't want to do it. Was that?
No, actually, none of these things happened. This role, there's a casting director called Abhimanyu Ray. And he called me and he said that there's a character that's come called Daulat, and I really see you fitting into it. He had immense conviction that he wanted me to be in this character, and he said that he wanted to test me for it. So I went and I tested for the character, and Abhimanyu is so amazing because a lot of tests, it really depends on how you're being tested by the person. They set it up, they're feeding you your lines. It's so important for that, because it is a give and take between two people, right? So he he really took a phenomenal test with me, and he sent it to Ram Madhwani and Amita Madhwani, who liked it. And then he called and said, "You're good. You're great for Daulat. You're good. It's a good thumbs up for that." And then I got the script and I read it, and I knew exactly what the character was. And given a chance to, if it came back and I was in that same position again, and somebody gave me a choice that which character would you want to play, I mean, I would always choose Arya again. I mean, Daulat again and again. Other than Arya, if I could wear a sari, then I'd play Arya. But other than that, no, it would always be Daulat. Yeah, I never. I'm. I love the. He's my favorite character in the show.
I'm looking forward to season three. I'm sure there is a hope. There's a cliffhanger. It's they all not died. So, but the other role you did was in Mumbai as the Don Rama Shetty. I've only seen bits of it. You have this accent in that show Mumbai. How good
Yeah.
are you with dialects? And is there a favorite dialogue of yours which you'd like to show us, like in different accents? Because I know you have done accents in other languages.
Yeah, no, I've actually, I've always enjoyed playing and fooling around with accents since I can remember. It's always been something that I've enjoyed doing. I'm pretty crazy that way. I talk to myself alone also, so these things help sometimes. But yeah, so I mean, like for Rama Shetty also, the thing was that I did meet the director and all we met, and then I had to figure out how to get that dialect of that person, and I did have a person who was there to help me out with it. And only if you're going to get it completely in my mind, if I'm going to get the whole thing, then then we'll go ahead with it. Because just one or two words of an accent or of a line, it doesn't really help. It'll throw you off. It's like ये एक word क्या बोल रहा है, बाकी फिर normal हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं. So if you crack the entire tone of it, then it becomes really good fun. And yeah, so that happened with Rama. That happened with Khuda Baksh Khan, which is the character's name in Raw, Romeo Akbar Walter. That happened on Tere Bin Laden, Dead or Alive, where I'm playing the American guy and the Punjabi guy, and yeah, and there's this other film that I've just finished where again I'm playing a different dialect. So yeah, it's always been fun. I've always enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the process of trying to find it, and once you do find it, then you really start understanding the person, and then you can really have fun.
Sure. Sikander, you made your big screen debut in 2008 with Woodstock Villa, and in this
Yes.
close to 12 years long career, you have done 11 films, 5 series, and of course, you worked in a Hollywood show called Sense8. What is your deciding factor? Are you very selective with the type of projects you want to work on?
Uh, you know, I think it's just like different phases of time in life. My father has always said, "Kaam se kaam milta hai." So there's a time where it's just about working. It's about going on set. My mother's always said that the greatest blessing for an actor is just to be busy. But having said that, I mean, like for me, the my deciding factor to do anything, as I always say, is the script. The whole thing, reading the entire thing. If I can read the entire thing and it's interesting and I enjoy it, then I will get the conviction to do what I'm going to do in it. It never ever is one character. Um, yeah, so that changes, that evolves, from the time that I've seen it, and now that I go about it. The most important thing is the whole thing together, the entire show or the entire film. For that is of prime importance. Only then will each character connect with the audience that is watching it. So yeah, that's the only thing.
You're of course getting a lot of praise by doing sometimes these small parts in film like Suryavanshi, to these roles in films like Raw or in the series like Arya. But is there a
Yeah.
part of you who feel that you wanted one big project which will make you the face of that movie or that series?
You know, you I enjoy the whole process. Yeah, you take Arya for example. He's not the lead or anything of the show. He's Daulat, but he's connected. No, so that's amazing. You don't know what happens tomorrow. Where you have a primary part, what it's like, how it's received. I mean, anything that does well is just. I'm really grateful for any of that. I'm just really. That's a great feeling that when you can connect with the audience and that they enjoy it. That's just beautiful. These other things don't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, as it's always, I think it's just how I am at home, or the conversations at home have always been, you're lucky if you're just busy. That's it. If I'm just lucky that I can pursue a career which is acting, which is cinema, it's something creative, and that is such a blessing. It's like, if you have to call something a job, how beautiful is it? If you're a painter or a poet or a singer, I mean, how fulfilling is that? I don't have to go somewhere and be unhappy with something that I don't want to do, but I have to do for other means. So therefore, I've been born in a fairly comfortable place, which is fine. I'm not apologetic about it, but there's I'm very, very happy. I'm very grateful for where I am in my career and the work that I'm doing, and just in general in life. So I have so many things to be thankful about. So I don't really think about, I wish I had that. I have so much already.
But how often do you introspect your own work, and how do you want to be seen as an actor?
Firstly, on set, I never go to the monitor to see my work. So then eventually, when anything that I've done comes out, usually I'm waiting for myself. So I'll fast forward to my parts, okay, just to see what I've really done, maybe, which is the truth. But I mean, whatever I've done, there'll be things that I don't like. There'll be things that I like. Usually, I'm very critical of myself. So I think most of the time, I'm not sure. I don't like myself. Maybe, the only person actually whose point of view I do look forward to is my mother's, because she's brutally honest. She'll be honest that yeah, इसमें तुम ऐसे थे, या ये फिल्म मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आई, या इसमें तुमने अच्छा किया, because she's so brutally honest with her critique of my work. So then I look forward to hearing what she has to say, and somewhere that is all I look for. And how to be known as an actor is just like, man, it's, if people enjoy it, yeah, if it connects with somebody, if no, I mean, there'll be different ones. Yeah, I'm just. It's cool if it connects with people, and they give it so much love, and it's going well as of now. So that's all I can say. Who knows? Yeah, tomorrow you do something really bad also, but that's okay. I feel people are very forgiving, so that's nice. As long as they think of me as somebody that does a good job on screen and that they enjoy watching, that's all that you'll ever want. I feel that's all that I'll ever want.
And talk about your other roles. But how's your mother, Kirron Kher, feeling now? It must have been very, very tough time for you and for your family when she was diagnosed with cancer last year.
She's doing very well. She's a extremely, extremely positive person. She's always been a fighter. She's a very strong woman. She's done everything on her terms. She's extremely affectionate and loving, and she's uh, she's given us gives us strength. We give her strength, and we're like, it's very normal. Yeah, you never know what happens in life. Nobody knows what happens in life, right? And yeah, that's just how it is, and you just take things how they've come, and then you deal with them in the way you deal with them best. And we've been really good. We've been absolutely fine, and the most important thing is that all of you all and so many people have given so much love and sent out so much wonderful energy to her and us, and we're really, really, really thankful and grateful for that, because your concern is all that matters, and the love and the energy, that's so important, and it's so positive, and really thank you to all of you all.
And hope you're not troubling her now. We saw her calling a truce between you and your dad, Anupam Kher, during an Instagram live.
Yeah, no, we all trouble each other. Don't worry, that'll never stop.
You have grown up in Bollywood. Is there a funny filmy story you'd like to share with us? Like maybe sitting through a film narration or something crazy that you have seen while your parents, colleagues from Bollywood were around?
Yeah, I'll tell you one which suddenly came to my mind. There was a film called Roop Ki Rani Chorron Ka Raja, in which my father was playing a part, and we were really young. It had Devi, Anil Kapoor, and they were shooting somewhere, and Satish Kaushik ji was directing it, and I was a child, and I had gone to set, and I was just making a racket. I was just really being annoying and painful, and people were just yellowing me. And then at one point, Satish Kaushik, who's a very dear family friend, just yelled really loudly, "Bas ho gaya Sikander, bahut ho gaya, chup, chup." And I remember feeling really hurt. And I'm sure it must have been the people around must have been really happy that somebody told me off for me. And I still enjoy the story though.
You were playing around at the
Yeah, I
set.
was too young. I was too young. I did that to many people. I want to apologize if anybody's watching and has had me as a child on their sets. I apologize today for all the trauma that I might have caused you.
How was it? How was the experience of working for the series since 8? You of course play Rudra in it.
Yeah, that's just one scene actually. That was great. Yeah, I got to work with the Wachowski, the people that made Matrix. For me, it was really cool to work with, just to get a chance to be directed by Lana Wachowski, and James McTeague was the person that made V for Vendetta. It was a cool experience for me. I had fun. Yeah, it was one day of shoot at Babulnath Temple in Bombay, and I went there, and it's easy. It was just easy. It was smooth. She's like, just do this. Okay, do this again. Say this line from here. Okay, say that line again. Okay, just say the line like this. Okay, great, fantastic. Thanks, awesome. I was like, wow, that was cool. I got directed by Lana.
To me, you're a really passionate artist who written and directed this short film called Serial Killer. I'm sure it must be an idea that's very close to your heart because you have written it and also directed it. Please tell us more about this short and when are you releasing it?
Actually, it's not an original script. It was something I read, and I've given credit to the person where I actually got the story from, and I adapted it. It was a basic a seed that I read, and then I adapted it into my own. And it was something, at that time I was not really doing much at that point, and I just said, okay, man, this is very exciting. That is something that I've read, and I can see it's a short film, and I can visualize it. Let's see what I direct and what it seems like what is the experience of directing and what directors probably go through. And I realized one thing, that I think directing is the toughest thing to do, and people who do it well are just, they're phenomenal, because and then you realize that it's the whole film is the director. It's because of the director. It's that person's baby, and you care about just that frame. So it's very, very tough to execute, and to hats off to every director out there. Yeah, to be honest, it's extremely tough. That's what I realized from it. And no, there is no plan on any release of that.
Is there a dream role you have that you want to play and you want someone to offer you?
There's none. There's nothing. I mean, I would like to play a woman in a film now. I guess I think that's something I haven't done. Maybe maybe a character that I've never done. Yeah, like Mrs. Doubtfire or Tootsie. Something like that. I would like to try something like that. Like maybe play like 9 different characters in a film. Like how Eddie Murphy used to do. Something like that. Maybe I would love to try something like that.
Sikander Kher, thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you so much. This was
Thank
great
you.
fun.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you.
Thank
All the
you.
best.